So I've been doing this route for probably sort of between 10 and 12 years now. But the way I saw it was, I was getting the same. Started farming here about 1990, something like that, and the yields were good. There's nothing wrong with the yields, but we were high input, high output. So we were getting 4.5 ton, 5 ton sometimes, but mainly 4.5 ton of sort of ribbon, beaver, and those Haven, those rubber varieties everybody used to grow back in those days. And then 10 years on, 12 years on, we're probably getting slightly less, and yet we're meant to have high yielding varieties, better fungicides. You know, it's a bit like the old washing powder, isn't it? You get whiter and whiter, but it's just the same as it always was before. And so I said, well, if we're getting the same thing, the only thing I can think is deteriorating is the soil, because that was the only thing I could think of, unless we were being, unless everyone was conning us about the fungicides and seeds and things like that. That's quite possible. So that's why I said about how do I bring some life back in the soil? How do I get the soil into more organic matter into the soil? And so I sort of went down this route, and it coincided with a real bad wet harvest. I bought a direct drill and then drilled it into loads of rape stubbles, and it was a really, really wet back end, a bit like the one we just had. And ended up having not a single wheat plant grew in the field. The slugs took every single plant, and we're talking over 200 or 300 acres. So that's when I sort of like, well, what can I put something to dry the soil out, when I realised the wheat wouldn't grow. So I put in a bit of mustard, and then I drilled spring barley that year, and it sort of all developed from there.